right. I guess we're gonna start you'll start with the Akademiks versus Rory and Mal.
You want to start from the top of all this. How
All right.
this all pretty much started.
All right. How will we even go back to this? Like,
You take the lead on this.
all right. So if you are unfamiliar with DJ Akademiks, he's sort of he's a blog page. You can comment his blog page.
He's a YouTuber.
Well, he's pretty much
Twitch streamer.
a blog page. He used to DJ during his college days. He started blogging. Started with the war in Chirac. He covers news and hip hop. A lot of hip hop artists don't like him because he said he only covered the bad stuff, not the good stuff. Some people just don't like him because he don't post their album. This, that, and the third. It's just acting. I don't have anything against him. I actually think he's funny. I know a lot of people who don't like him. I know people who like him. But on the Breakfast Club, of course you got Joe Budden, not the Breakfast Club, run that back. On the Joe Budden podcast, of course there's Joe Budden and the two people beside him, the black one's Mal, white one's Rory. They, over the years, have taken subtle little jabs at Akademiks. They can deny it, but, I mean, like, it's on the tape. So, Akademiks just went the fuck off over him this past week and was going in. Just saying, pretty much looking up Rory's resume. Yeah, like shitting on his work, shitting on Mal, saying they don't really do anything, they just Joe's minions. Pretty much, he was implying that Joe is negotiating a deal with Spotify, and pretty much they just Joe's employees. He said, quote, "They are lucky to be carried by one of the most talented people in the game." Actually is what I wanted to point out though. I felt this whole time during his rant, his deriding of Joe Budden I thought was very telling. Where you can tell they have some type of mentorship going on. He did not say anything bad about Joe the whole time. He made sure he didn't say anything bad about Joe the whole time. I was like, yeah, like I could tell that nigga sort of like in his ear, like, nigga, don't try me. Like, hey, don't try me.
Yeah.
But the Rory Mal thing, like I said, I sort of think it's fair, but Akademiks he has to understand, you talk about people, why can't they talk about you? Now, I understand he didn't like when they implied he was a cokehead, but sometimes you got to understand you're in the public yourself. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, people are going to say things about you. You can't just overreact every time.
Yeah. We could honestly break this down in like 4 different parts.
Yeah.
Let's stick on the Joe Budden podcast joint, and then we're going to go to the other stuff that he's been doing outside of this that's showing something. He's negotiating something with Complex. First, I wasn't aware that they was sneak dissing him. When I found out, I looked at all the joints. It was like, oh, but they never really mentioned his name. So they pretty much pull what Drake do all the time, and people love Drake for that shit. But I got on there. He pretty much did what he usually do. I think he was gonna do, but yeah, he did that shit. Pretty much Bash Mal, said Moly Mal, said that man is dead already. He can go get his boy Rory. Rory. He pulled up a LinkedIn account, which if you don't work in a business or you not trying to get a job, you trying to get a job at that certain time, then yes, you're going to have a LinkedIn account. He said he ain't do shit pretty much with his tenure the whole year. He threw Duce Palooza to Kaz and all them people, all the other black people, and then he straight up said, y'all are just trying to destroy other black-owned businesses. He neglected that Biggs was a big part of Rockefeller. Like, that's my brother, Biggs. You don't know why Rockefeller, just go Google that shit. Too much thing to talk about. And he was beefing with Joe and said the same thing about Joe Budden when they was negotiating with Complex, saying Joe tried to take all of his money away from him when they was negotiating with Complex. But now he talked nothing but highly about Joe Budden.
Yeah, I think what it was, they actually talked it out. I think Joe explained to him what he was doing, where initially Ak only saw the money, where Joe's like, no, like, sometimes you gotta look a little past the money. And I got his point where it's like he was showing a LinkedIn page because he said, "Look, I'm my own boss while you sitting here trying to be someone's employee." So he's saying like y'all can't talk to me because that was a part of Joe's rant when he's talking about what the Breakfast Club and like Charlamagne was saying. He was like, "No, y'all work for iHeart. Y'all can't talk to me when I'm running my own shit." So Akademiks like just parlayed that over where it's like, well, I run my own shit. Now you got your little minions talking shit about not to Joe, but he's saying now these little minions are talking shit to me when they just his employees. So like I said, I get his frustration sort of, but then again, as dude, like people do this, like people talk shit about you. That's what they do. Like you can't be selective about who you wanna. I want to pick on them just because I make more money than them. I want to pick on so and so because he's not as big. You know, it's almost as if he selectively picks people that he could, like you said, you don't like. He tries to sun people. Yeah. Like he selectively picks people he think he can do that to. When it's like, I mean, if you're not gonna keep the same energy towards everybody, you might as well just let it ride. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not that serious.
And then it seems like he's just been beefing with anybody this year. He beefed with Nav earlier this year. I don't pay attention to Nav.
Yeah.
He beefed with Freddie Gibbs, which turned horribly into him getting suspended after getting drunk and trying to talk some shit. I mean, a big loss. Meek Mill and him again, back at it again, going back and forth. It seemed like a lot of guys that's really street is not really messing with him.
Yeah, you know, I thought it was funny. I really believe, and I think a lot of people can agree to this. It's because of the 6ix9ine thing. Because he's so close to 6ix9ine. He's like, oh, well, he said shit about them. They don't say anything, so that means they're not gonna do nothing to me because they're not doing nothing to him. I really think that's where like this year, because he said this year he's just I'm tired of this saying. So I was like, nah, I think you watched what 6ix9ine did and said, oh, they're not gonna actually do anything to me, so I can say what I want.
Yeah,
I really think that's what it comes from. Like I said, I'm a fan of him. I'm not trying to discredit him, but still, it's like this new thing he's doing this year about trying to beef with people. It's like, that ain't really you, my dude. Like,
it's all fun and games until 6ix9ine winds up dead, and then you mourning him, and then you're like, I just don't understand. Like, he was such a good guy, and you still not seeing the same shit he's seeing. You stopped beefing with Chicago after they was like, you keep making that shit, and we gonna come see you. And you stopped making that Warren Chirac shit. Did you not? Like, then on top of that, you like you throw certain artists in there or like say something smart, which you pretty much is the person version of Shade Room.
Yeah.
You're the one man person of Shade Room. Like, and the some fact that you beef with everything, Complex has probably got you on another contract because it's been a couple years, 2 or 3 years. So they probably got you on another contract. If not, you're trying to get another deal with somebody. And like, look, this is what I can do. This how many people I can bring to my platform. You're gonna hurt yourself more than help yourself. And honestly, I hope Joe lets Rory and them just vent it out. Like, yo, like this is what the fuck going on. Just let me say something. But I think Joe was like, no, let's look at the bigger picture right now. Like, yeah, I have my personal thing, but if I go, they're gonna look at y'all like, okay, cool. But since my name on the biggest part of it, yeah, they're gonna look at me like, okay, cool. Like, I know I'm the attention drawer.
Yeah.
But it's all like the big three. You know LeBron the captain. So if anything happened to LeBron, everybody gonna be like, well, they ain't got it no more.
Yeah.
It's all like that. Like, if it's not 3 of them in there, then you can tell different. You can tell it different. Like when they did do the podcast without Joe, it was good. I'm not gonna lie, it was good. I listened to it. Even with one of them missing, it's still good, but it's not the same when all 3 is there. You said that Rory was the college kid version. Rory was Joe Budden college translator. Was you not that on Everyday Struggle when you brought all these young niggas up there and Joe Budden pretty much ripped them apart and you kept doing it and kept doing it? and you didn't realize that that's pretty much what she was doing. And that's the only reason why I know DJ Akademiks, because of Complex and Joe Budden.
I thought you brought up a great point where I don't think he realized he's hurting himself more than helping himself, because the thing with 6ix9ine now, of course he's not gonna be on any playlist. Like, a lot of people don't want to work with him. A lot of brands don't want to rock with him. A lot of this. So I think Akademiks is sort of like following that. He's not realizing, yeah, you may get a little boost in pride for what you're doing, but when you start to go to these deal negotiations, nobody want to work with you. I think that's when he's going to start to see, like, oh, damn, maybe I was wilding right there. Like, yeah, so, I don't know. Like you said, hopefully, I think, like, niggas getting too old for this. But, I mean, it's whatever.
And
like,
for the fact that he tried to, like, you see, I mean, I know everybody saw it. Most people saw when Jay Versace and Fred Gibbs were going back and forth. That shit was comedy, because Fred Gibbs did not really try to disrespect Jay Versace. But, hey, he did it away. And Jay Versace literally won it. To me, like, he won that shit, and Fred Gibbs had to give it to him. Like, he cannot say shit. And Jay Versace is a funny dude. Like, when he was talking that shit, yeah, I was rolling, because I was like, yo. And he may have thought, oh, Jay Versace can do it, maybe I can get away with it. Nah, not everybody fuck with you like that. Like, Jay Versace actually a talented producer, and he brings something to the table. You got credit on 6ix9ine and Nav albums, which, have anybody really listened to a Nav album?
Nah.
You contribute, hear bars here and there.
He had a couple singles, but yeah, no one listens to his album like that.
Yeah, if you have a couple bars here and there on another artist's album, then it's like, okay, cool. Like, you just contributing a couple bars.
Yeah.
But that's the same thing people criticize Drake about. People consider, like, just taking a little bit of bars and shit like that. Or, like saying the ghostwriter thing, you helped blow that shit up.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And while we're on the subject, I looked at the Star video too to see what the hell he was talking about. I don't know. He's the dude with Gilly the Kid, I think.
Yeah.
Star. What the fuck? That's what people really like looking at? Like, this man just, like, pretty much having people call in, and then he insults them and not really get an answer. After, like, 20 minutes, I was like, yo, what the fuck is this shit? Like, you take donations or whatever you want to call them for people to call in.
I've never watched that, so I have no idea.
It's a weird nasty game that they play. And a lot of celebrities do that shit where they just take donations from people. Like, a lot of, like, streamers and shit take donations for stupid shit.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you want to call and be on it, and then they're like, oh, blah blah blah, and this and that. Like, he pretty much was like, yeah, academics, and I'm like, You don't really like Marlon Roy. Like, we know that already. Yeah. From which I said in the podcast. But I digress.
Yeah. Shit. I guess we can hear music. What the fuck? Wait, what happened?
Oh, well, go ahead.
You know what the fuck happened with this ASAP Ferg shit? Or
no. But before I leave the joint, I just want to say one thing. And here he go fucking with another Chicago rapper.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Hydro number 9.
Quando Rondo.
Whatever the fuck that nigga name is. I don't give a fuck. Akademiks is a straight up bitch for posting day one numbers. He did that in a day and a half. We dropped on a Thursday.
On a Wednesday.
Damn. Dude is stupid.
Well, if they did drop on a Wednesday, that is a fair point. But Akademiks did have proof, apparently, that, like, nah, nigga, you sold 3,500. I don't know if he actually did drop on a Wednesday or not. I didn't pay attention to that.
I don't care about numbers or nothing like that. If the album good, the song good, it's good. Like,
that's
the thing that everybody getting ahead of now. Is like, oh, numbers this, number that. It doesn't mean shit when it's, as Roy said, you can have all the content in the world, but it doesn't mean shit if it doesn't age well.
Yeah.
If you own your masters and this shit don't do shit, then you own 100% of nothing.
And I don't. He is too caught up in the numbers sometimes. Like, it's like, hey, like, sometimes, like, is the album good or not? Like, you know, you don't just be like, oh, he only sold 35K. It's like, I mean, the album was fire though. Like, fuck that.
Oh yeah.
Like, promote the album.